Good evening and welcome to tonight's show from DJNTV, Disc Jockey News TV. Tonight's show is brought to you by Electra Voice, DJ Event Planner, DJ Trivia, Odyssey Innovative Designs and Cases, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and the DJNTV Insiders.
From experiencing her first event to becoming a part of the tightly knit community, my next guest has played a crucial part in event planning for businesses, from decor and hosting to sound tech and entertainment. She can rock a nightclub or bang out an amazing electronic music set for an outdoor music festival. She can cater to the needs of couples getting married to setting the mood for corporate events. My next guest has a lot of knowledge to share based on her experience and everyday drive. Today I'm chatting with Miss Momentum. Miss Momentum, thank you so much for joining us today on the DJ Spotlight.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. So let's jump into it. Your journey, what did that look like? Can you take us on a little story?
Well, the first time I kind of got into the whole DJ scene was at a very young age. I was working at a fast food joint, had a coworker that was like, man, you should check these shows out. And, I wasn't really of age to be checking them out. And, he happened to work the door, and that was my first experience. And it was like mind-blowing that I was experiencing two stages of these DJs that were just tearing up, the dance floor. And that's when I kind of realized, like, not fitting in anywhere else, this is where I was meant to be. There's all these weirdos doing their thing and having an amazing time, and music was the center of it all. And it was kind of the missing piece of my life that I was happy to find. And kind of from there, I realized that I wanted to be more involved in the scene. So I went to my first festival, which was Connect. And somebody that I call my big brother, which is DJ Garrett Friesen, that most of us know and love, got me more involved with Connect. And I did decor and moved on to doing stuff like talent, host, and transport. And I was able to, hang out with DJs and be backstage and see all their cool, technical skills and see things not from just the crowd perspective, but from behind the scenes as well. And, I never thought that I could do that. Like, it was incredible to see, and I just I thought I would just be kind of behind the scenes my whole life. And then one day, I was working a 9-to-5 job, and I ran into, somebody that was a hypnotist, and he happened to own a DJ company as well. I started off as a sound tech with him, and we traveled all over Saskatchewan, just doing sound tech for his hypnosis shows, and he did packages with it as well, which he taught me how to, and nicely say it, DJ with quotations, which to me wasn't really DJing. You're just using a laptop and a hard drive. There was no mixer or anything involved. It was just kind of track for track, what I call jukebox DJing. And, I did get lots of experience with doing the sound tech part of it, and that's something that I can take from that experience. But I was definitely looking for more, which then I joined Armed with Harmony, and, things kind of skyrocketed from there with my career. And, I couldn't be more grateful because I never even touched a controller, never really got my skills up to par because I didn't know how to go about doing it. And working with Armed with Harmony really helped me get to that point. You know, I was rocking on DJ equipment within an hour of my first training shift. I had my first residency within a couple weeks of working with them. I did my first big show within a month of working with them, and that was actually opening up for DJ Blend, which growing up in high school, we used to dance in the parking lot to DJ Blend, like Wicked Mix and stuff like that. We were tearing it up in the parking lot of our school, and to be able to have that as my first big gig was just, you know, absolutely mind-blowing to me.
No, I love that you mentioned DJ Blend. I totally forgot about him because he had like those viral YouTube videos of him DJing with that crazy mask on.
Yeah.
Bedroom. Like in his freaking like teeny tiny little bedroom. Who knows? Maybe he was like living with his parents at the time too. And then he like became this big sensation. So, oh, that's so funny. I totally forgot about him. It's wicked. So you kind of have like the best of both worlds, hey? Like you do top 40, you do the corporate, and you also can do like the electronic music festivals and these underground events. How do you think that's impacted your career?
Well, at first it wasn't the best impact for my career. Coming from an underground world, more seen as like a rave girl. I love my quotations, by the way. And I was just seen as like somebody that would only DJ house. You know, I wasn't seen as somebody that would be knowledgeable in other areas, which kind of affected being in the mainstream world. But then once I got more prominent in the mainstream world, I think people were hesitant to book me in the underground world because they thought I only did, you know, corporate events, weddings, school dances, and stuff like that. And that's where, you know, I had thought about this stuff long before I kind of decided to juggle both worlds. And it was prominent in my DJ name. And that's kind of why I came up with Miss Momentum, because in promoting myself, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't a branded DJ. And, you know, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I just didn't want to be branded to anything. And Miss Momentum speaks loudly about that for me, is no matter what gig I'm doing, whether it's a school dance, whether it's a festival, whether it's a wedding, whether it's just a house party, I'm bringing the momentum, and that's what it means for me. Through lots of promotion and just doing more and more shows and making sure that, you know, I was getting those bookings for different events and different opportunities, I hope that at this point in time I've kind of broken the stigma that I only do mainstream or only do underground. And in my opinion, it's worked. Hopefully I'm kind of getting it more out there. But it's really awesome to be able to juggle both worlds.
Oh, yeah. And it totally gives you the opportunity to educate people that might be like really into popular top 40 music, like being able to throw those remixes in, or being an electronic music DJ that can use those familiar nostalgic samples and, you know, bring those elements into your electronic music sets. I mean, at Emotion last year, I remember, oh my gosh, as if I'm forgetting his name. He did a Ricky Martin.
Father Funk.
Yes, yeah. Like drum and bass. And everyone lost their freaking mind. I mean, I lost my mind.
That was actually really funny because myself and Ashley were like front row, right in front of the thing, and we went from like just smashing it out, dancing, losing our minds, and all of a sudden it goes to Ricky Martin, and we both just like stopped. We like looked at each other, and then we looked at Father Funk, and then we looked at the crowd, And we're like, what the hell is going on? And then all of a sudden the drop just smashed it. Like, we were really confused. We thought he was like doing this really epic troll and he was just going to play the actual track and just play the actual track for his last track, and that was just going to be it.
Yeah.
But he did like an extreme troll where, you know, he did play the track, but then he smashed it out with like such a great remix. Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh my God, it was amazing. I get so happy when I hear throwbacks. Yeah, I've got like the Spice Girl and Backstreet Boys remixes, and you know, people like in their 30s and 40s are like, yes, thank you for playing this house music remix of Backstreet Boys. I love it. So
I definitely have quite a few of those. I have like Backstreet Boys, I have TLC, like I have a really awesome remix of like No Scrubs.
yeah.
And that's just stuff that you can even like bust out at, you know, I DJ at Pink, and you know, they like the housey music, but you also want something familiar that people can sing along to, and that's what those are perfect for. Like, people love them.
Yes, exactly. And man, you are so unbelievably busy with DJ gigs right now. I'm curious if you have, you know, maybe some ideas about why you're able to make a livable wage off of doing something that you're so passionate about, which I think is so freaking inspiring.
Well, honestly, I worked very hard to get to where I am today. The last nearly 6 years of my life, I've been taking on every event and opportunity I can get my hands on. The first 2 years, I worked many other jobs other than for an event company, just to be able to afford bills, and I also went to school for part of that time. After the 2 years, I had the talk, quotations again, with myself. And I feel like a lot of people do that in their 20s or at some point early on in their life, where you ask yourself, you know, what do I really want to do? What is my 5-year goal? Where do I want to end up? And I kind of came to the decision that to make it my goal to do music full time. And I taught myself a lot to become a better DJ and did a lot of promo to get my name out there for more opportunities. The time I spent being a sound tech before I became a DJ set me up to be able to do, you know, other interesting events as well. Even if I'm not DJing them or a DJ is not needed. And with the help of the company that I work for, which is Arm with Army, as I mentioned before, I was able to gain a lot more traction in the bar and club scene, as well as mobile gigs, and eventually like opening spots for big shows. I also had friends who helped with supporting me by booking me for their events and giving me even more opportunities. And on top of that all, I think being a female DJ has contributed as well, especially where I'm from. It's very unique. There aren't a lot of female DJs out here. I had to prove myself in some cases, and in others, this took me further in my career, creating a whole new adventure of, you know, all female opportunities. Everything I've done for the last 4 years has been completely geared towards music. And I was able to leave all my other jobs behind and focus on really what I love to do, which is music and production services.
And yeah, you have worked so hard and you have such the resume because, you know, the decor and the sound tech and just having that wide range, that open format. I think it's so important. The thing that I mentioned about the talk, as you say, like that is so freaking important because some people are like, okay, when do you know that you're ready? It's like, it's literally an internal conversation with yourself about what that's going to look like and where you might find different revenue streams based on what you're willing to do. Following up with that, some people think that playing top 40 music when you're an electronic DJ makes you some sort of a sellout. What would you say to people that have that sort of opinion or thought process around it?
Well, it's actually funny that you say and ask that because I kind of used to think something similar. When I was part of the underground scene, I didn't really understand much about the mainstream world and especially the mainstream DJ world. But I feel like starting off with DJing corporate events and in open format bars and clubs has allowed my knowledge in music and entertainment to grow much broader than I ever expected. It has even impacted my day-to-day life. My views and how I live my life are much more open than they were back then, and I strongly believe that any type of DJing is good experience. I've used techniques I've learned in the mainstream world, in the underground world, and vice versa. DJing can be whatever you make it, but I feel like certain DJs that are strictly underground, you put them in a bar and then maybe don't exactly know kind of how the flow of things are. Eventually you can learn, if you do both of them, and kind of the same with if you're just mainstream and then you try to go into the underground world, it's a little bit of a change. But if you're consistently doing both of them, it can work to your advantage. Do I think it makes me a sellout to do both? No. A good DJ will tell you it isn't just about the music you play, it's about how you make people feel. And even back to referring, my day job requires me to play music I don't personally seek out. It's still a fun challenge and a learning experience to create a vibe for your crowd who does enjoy that music. And I use these experiences as my stepping stones towards my future. Do I see myself playing, mainstream my whole career? Definitely not. But it's what allows me to DJ multiple times a week right now and gain that experience and keeps my passion burning for what I want to do with my life.
So obviously making everyone happy is not possible unless you've got a crowd of 3. And in the mainstream world, especially with song requests, we can find it, quite difficult. I would love to hear your thoughts on, how to deal with song requests, especially if you know what they're asking for is going to kill the dance floor.
Oh boy. So this one I might get some flack for, but I really strongly stand by it. First of all, I want to just kind of tap into what a request is. And a song request is exactly that. It's defined as an act of politely or formally asking for something or to politely ask someone to do something. It's not a demand, and it should not be treated as such. As a DJ, we don't have to play your song. But as a DJ, it's also, up to us to decide what's best for the entire room. Now, in saying that, I'm not against song requests. I'm all for them, especially in a difficult to read room, which I'm sure the majority of us DJs have experienced at one point in our career. I enjoy seeing the crowd, react when I play something they've requested, that's their jam. If the dance floor is pumped, so am I. In saying that, I feel like we now live in a world where music is becoming a convenient form of entertainment. You have all these apps and vessels that provide you with anything you want to hear, and you get to hear it now. But there are a lot of people that don't understand what a DJ actually does anymore. Some don't want to wait for you to create a vibe, to hear their song. They want the same access to you as they do their personal playlists. They don't want to put their trust in you as a DJ to take them on a journey. And in my opinion, I think that kind of takes away from the experience you're trying to create for everybody to enjoy themselves. And being an open format DJ is actually the worst for this. Don't get me wrong, I love mixing weird songs together. It's a fun challenge. And just the other day, I made a live remix of Satisfaction, Benny Benassi, little throwback there with a rock throwback. You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC, and the crowd went nuts for it. But the anything goes mentality in the open format world and the convenience people are used to can wind up making you a human jukebox in their eyes instead of a DJ. And this is kind of where you need people skills. Talk to them about their request if it's unusual or if you think it'll kill your dance floor. Ask them if there's something in your current genre they'd like to hear or what their top 5 songs to dance to are. And hopefully you can both come to an agreement that will make everybody happy and you can keep the good vibes going. However, we've all had that persistent request, whether it's a birthday or a bachelorette party or some special occasion where they absolutely have to have their song played. And this is your perfect opportunity to take advantage of the room. And, you can do that by dancing your crowd out a bit, playing stuff that they're going to love and enjoy, that maybe they've been dancing to all night. And once you kind of pump them up and tired them out a bit, you can get on the microphone, and it's a perfect time to announce drink specials, and you can announce that your next song is a special request. And what this does is if it kills your dance floor, the people that maybe don't enjoy the song can go to the bar and refill and get all primed up for when you pump up the dance floor again. And the people that requested the song are also happy because they get to hear their favorite tune. So, this helps out everybody. It helps you out as a DJ. It makes everybody in the room have fun. And it helps out, the bar or club or event that you're working by bringing sales up as well.
That's so freaking smart. And I hope those of you that are watching right now that have been curious about how to deal with this and usually get upset, take notes and take notes. Use this. I love that. And I love your idea with announce those drink specials if it's a request so people know where to go, what to do. So to end off this interview, I'd love you to share any upcoming events, mixes, stuff you want people to know about.
All right. Well, first of all, it sucks that most of my gigs are privately booked this summer, but I am booked quite a bit. In saying that, unless you're going to a wedding or some type of event in Saskatoon or Saskatchewan area this summer, you won't really be able to see me, except for you can come out to Emotion Arts and Music Festival, which takes place August long weekend. It's just outside of St. Laurent, Manitoba, at the Stony Ridge Campground. And that's actually where you and I met each other for the first time, which was awesome last year. You killed it in your set, which was amazing.
I couldn't see anybody. I was like, is there people out there? I don't know. In the middle of nowhere. I am so looking forward to seeing you again this year at Emotion. You definitely need to go to the beach stage. Go on those unicorn floaties.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great festival with a great environment, right?
Yeah.
As well, on top of going to Emotion, make sure you get your tickets. The link, I'm pretty sure, will be in the description as well. I've also been working on a mix series called Cut the Check. And Cut the Check is my spin on old and new flavors of urban originals, breaks, and remixes, all done up in 30 to 60-minute sets. My thought behind creating these is to bring the club to you. Cut the Check Volume 1 was released a few months ago, and you can check it out on my SoundCloud, which is www.mixcloud.com/momentum or Miss Momentum. Cut the Check Volume 2, I will hopefully be releasing sometime soon. If not, it's coming in the fall, absolutely for sure. I've also been working on another mix series called Booty Beats, which is Moomba, reggaeton, dancehall, Latin, Afro beats, basically anything that makes you want to shake your booty. And Booty Beats Volume 1 I have set to have out in the next couple months, so you can listen to it while you're, sipping your margaritas or mojitos. You can move your booty. And for anything more updated on events or any mixes I'm doing, you can also follow me on my Facebook at Miss Momentum.
And we will have all those links for you guys to check out and listen to all the awesome things that she's got going on and get your tickets if you're going to go to Emotion this year. For all of you that have been tuned in to this DJ Spotlight with Miss Momenta, we want to hear from you. We would love to know something that she said today that really resonated with you, maybe something that you learned or it inspired you to think differently about different styles of DJing. Let us know in the comments below, and let us know if there's any insight today that was shared that you are going to use in your career. How are you going to use it? How are you going to put it into action today? As always, make sure you don't let no one kill your vibe.